It's history in the making. A former president has never been indicted before. To sort out the political implications, I'm joined by OBrien Murray and J.C. Polanco. So here's the deal. The political world has been held hostage by the media machinations of Donald Trump. He announced that he was going to be arrested on Tuesday. He wasn't, but now there's this media frenzy. So the question I have for you is, given the fact that he has been in headlines all over the country, all over the world for the past week, has this helped him politically or hurt him politically? Go.
I think at the end of the day, the question really becomes, what is he indicted for? If he doesn't get indicted, it ends up being a win for him to some extent. If he gets indicted, it's a win in a different type of thing. He's more of a martyr and motivates some of his base.
I don't know. I think that his family has to be a little embarrassed that this is even having any play in the media. I know that the question is he going to get indicted? But think about the details behind it. The family still has to sit on that.
He has their votes.
No,
everybody else got to worry about.
You got to sit on the fact that you were paying off a porn star. I mean, that, at the end of the day, how is that a win? And not only is that a problem, but your wife had just given birth to a child. She's breastfeeding him in the other room, and you're going to do this? It doesn't look good anyway. Now, whether or not he gets indicted, that's another story. But whether this is a win, he wants this away from the press. I know the former First Lady definitely doesn't want this in the press. This is a lose-lose.
But on the other hand, he raised a ton of money. Every day this week, he has sent out 4, 5, 6 fundraising letters. I've seen them. And so it's helping him at least raising money for his potential presidential campaign. So how is that a loss?
He's raising money because of the awareness, and it's the martyr side of the house, but he's also doing something else. He's keeping any other opponents out of the press. He's taking the whole bandwidth of any of the press that's out there and keeping everybody out of it.
That was my next question. How is it affecting the other candidates?
Yeah, but listen, this man has 100% name ID. He's been in the press for the last 20 years nonstop, and in the last 7, 24/7. But so really, this is not helping him with the press at all. The truth is this: he has a base of followers that will support him no matter what happens, and they consider him a martyr, and they will be sending him money for this campaign. The truth is that everyone is just waiting around and not want to say anything bad about the president, the former president, because of the powerful base he walks with.
But at the same time, DeSantis can't get any press at this point. No one else can. He's taking the bandwidth. Everyone knows who he is, of course, but he's got the narrative of the day.
But see, this is a long way before people have to go to the polls and vote for a candidate.
But right now, DeSantis is on a book tour. It's the first time they get to know him out of Florida. He's out there on the road. If he's not going to get the coverage, it's a missed opportunity there.
See, I think there's a bigger question at play, and the question is, how did the other candidates deal with this? Do they ignore it because they don't want to, get his base upset, or do they go after him and say this is a sort of a shady sort of thing? That's
what they do. Look, for example, DeSantis did this. He said what? The drama about the porn star and the payoff. Well, and then he backtracks and says, well, this could just be a Democrat coming after the former president to make sure that the base knows that he's not attacking the former president. I mean, that's what people are going to do. They don't want to attack the president directly, because if you do, you lose the base, and then you have no shot at this president.
They're talking about the indictment in New York right now. You also have the indictments in Florida. You got indictments in Georgia. You got other cases out there that could be out there. And what happens next? At the end of the day, those other cases may come up before this one in New York. I don't know if this is an FEC violation anyway. If it's not an FEC violation, I don't know that Bragg has a case.
So we have another situation, and the situation is that an Insta poll that was done a few days after Trump tweeted that he was going to be arrested Tuesday, his poll number shot up. He was like at 56%, and DeSantis was like at 20-something%. Before that, they were sort of breathing down each other. DeSantis was breathing down his neck. So is this something that is sustainable? Is this lead in the poll sustainable, or is it a flash in the pan, and once they determine whether he's indicted, he's not indicted, whatever happens, the polls go back to normal?
In a primary, I always say it's not the win, it's the spin. You can come in second or third.
That's a really great line. It's not the win,
it's the spin. You can come in second or third and still win, without question. So for the indictment, the question is going to be, if there is an indictment, what it's about and what they actually spin it on. Does he become the guy who's just being attacked for no reason by a Democrat DA or by the Democrat U.S. attorney? We don't know. If that's the messaging among the Republican voters in the primary, he keeps that up.
Well,
those numbers.
The poll numbers right now don't mean much. We have to remember that. There is an eternity before that first primary, and there are going to be tons of indictments that may be coming down the pike. I think as it pertains to this specific issue in Manhattan, it may be a flash in the pan.
But if you're Nikki Haley or Pompeo, no one's talked about them this week. They're not out there at all. There's no names.
It doesn't matter. The stronghold.
They need to raise money.
I know.
To get visibility.
While the former president is still in the picture, these people have to be very careful. It's a very sensitive base, as you well know. You cross them, you're done, and you're not going to win a primary. So trying to get any coverage means that you got to go head-to-head with the former president.
So
your advice is don't mention Trump at all for the next week, 2 weeks, whatever?
But who are you going to attract? Which one of these candidates is going to come against him? You're DOA in a primary. If you even say, let's look at what DA Bragg has to say about the case. Or what if there is an indictment in Georgia?
So down the pike. So we play this out, whatever happens, and down the pike, there's 10 people on a debate stage or 8 people on a debate stage. Do they raise it then?
No matter what. You don't want to go after your opponent in a primary situation like that where you're going to lose his voters. It happens in Democratic primaries in New York City, across the country, national primaries. Any of these primaries, your goal is to win the primary by knocking your opponent down and getting their votes. And
this is a little different, though, Obi. But this is a little different. I've never seen the power of one man over a base like Donald Trump has over the Republican
Party. But how big is that base?
It's incredible. Well, it's strong. It's about 33% that will be there for him no matter what. And those 33% matter in the primary. You don't want to cross them. I've never seen this phenomena, and even in the Democratic side, you've never seen one candidate have such a stronghold over the party.
Because you haven't run yet.
So what you're basically saying, JC, is that if the Republicans want to beat Donald Trump, they should coalesce around one person, because a field of 8 or 7 people are going to splinter the remaining, 70% of the vote.
Well, yeah, they're going to do that. But something interesting happens, Marcia. I say 33% of the parties die hard no matter what Trump says. The Fifth Avenue comment he made a long time ago. But then there is this effect, this effect where other folks that are not part of the base die hard will fall in line very quickly when you say tax cuts, when you say something. Wait. When you say this is the party's guy, they will fall in line before they vote for the other guy. And that's the truth with them.
Will they vote, though? They won't vote for the other guy. Will they show up? He motivates people to show up and vote. And we learned that in 2018 when the Democrats showed up to vote against him, and the voters that voted for Trump didn't show up in 2018 in the state. So
look, I only have a few minutes left, but I want to ask you about the political implications for Alvin Bragg. He got elected as a progressive and promptly made it clear that he was going to free everybody that he could possibly free in a host of cases. And there are numerous stories about repeat offenders who were freed without bail and lived to commit crimes again. So before the Trump case, he was vulnerable to a primary challenge because New Yorkers weren't feeling safe. Does this case help him get back with his progressive supporters?
It depends where it comes to the indictment. And by the way, an indictment without a conviction is not good for him either then.
Why?
Because if he indicts and then can't convict Donald Trump when everyone thinks he's a crook from that side, Democratic primary voters, that's a downer too. And if he does not convict and indicts only, that is not a good thing. But we're talking Democratic primary voters in New York County too.
Yeah. And it's a close primary with only the very far left come out to vote anyway.
What are the political implications for Bragg?
Because of a close primary, they're not too much. That's the truth. You have to go to the far left.
But people
in a
are
primary.
afraid to walk the streets.
But they won't. Those voters are not coming out in the Democratic primary. That's why you get these policies.
I think they come out. They're scared.
They're not going to vote in numbers to give him to make him concerned in any way. Plus, he's coming after the big dog.
Then why is he doing this?
Well, he's doing. Oh, go ahead.
Well, the answer is I don't know. He was told by his own aides not to do it and then to do it in different cases. The FEC didn't step up and do any kind of criminal or civil issues on this expense. The feds didn't do it. They turned it down.
But there was a lot of pressure, Obi. There was a lot of pressure from former prosecutors in the office. So one wrote a book about how he viewed that the Trump debacle was being mishandled by the office. I think he had a lot of pressure to do something about something.
In this state, the AG race was all about the Democratic primary in 2018 was 100% about going after Trump.
We have about 30 seconds left. Does this help him or hurt him politically? JC, go first.
It helps him 100% to secure that progressive base of the Democratic Party that votes in these close primary elections.
I think it's too soon to tell. He has to convict if he indicts. If he doesn't indict, he's going to have a damn good reason why. So if he doesn't indict and has a damn good reason why, he's fine. But if he indicts and doesn't convict...
Then he has to come out and have a press conference and say, I didn't indict him because I didn't have a case, and all this hullabaloo, he blames it on...
Maybe the grand jury won't indict.
Yeah, but in that close primary, those Democrats love a fight, and that's what they want to see in him.
Then we're going to hear the ham sandwich comment all day.
Okay. We're going to have to leave it right there for now, but we'll be right back.